שיר חדש,
שיר חדש,
שירו לאדוני,
שירו לאדוני,
כל הארץ,
כל הארץ,
שירו לאדוני,
שירו לאדוני,
ברכו שמו, בסכו מיום ליום ישועתו, שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני, כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בסכו מיום ליום ישועתו,
ספרו בגויים כבודו, לכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, לכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, לכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. שיר לאדוני, שיר לאדוני.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. Page 10. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. Repeat after me. How good it is, how sweet it is, with me to be together on this day. Very good. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. שלום עליכם, שלום עליכם, הסלאם עליכם, שלום עליכם, הסלאם עליכם. Let's try that. שלום עליכם, הסלאם עליכם, שלום עליכם, הסלאם עליכם.
A chassid once asked the Maggid of Slochkov, "It is written, everyone in Israel is required to say, 'When will my work approach the deeds of my ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob?' How am I to understand this? How can we presume to think that our deeds could equal the deeds of our ancestors?" The Maggid explained, the patriarchs provided a new service, each one according to his individual nature. In the same way, every one of us, each in our own fashion, should create something that is new in the light of Jewish teaching and service. Let us not do what has been done already, rather let us do what is yet to be done. Every individual is obligated to know and to contemplate, that their nature is unique in the world and that none other in the world has ever been identical to them. Had there been someone exactly like them before, there would have been no need for their existence. Every individual is a new entity in the world and must strive to perfect their individual nature in this world. This week's Torah portion of Beth-El highlights this notion of our individuality and connection to Judaism with its desire to have the Israelites bringing gifts of their heart to build the Mishkan, the tabernacle. While we may not live in the time of the Mishkan, we still see how each one of us must bring our own connection to Judaism, to each other, and to God. We cannot be compared to one another, but to what we bring of ourselves to the world around us. One of my favorite footnotes in Mishkan Tefillah, our prayer book, is by Rami Shapiro, an American Reform rabbi. This quote is found connected with Avot ve'imahot, our prayer recognizing the generations that came before us, and each of their individual connections with God. Rabbi Shapiro says, "We are shaped by those who came before us, as an acorn is formed by the tree that preceded it, yet gives rise to a tree uniquely its own. So we are formed by our ancestors, yet give rise to a Judaism uniquely ours." So let us take this Shabbat and every day to figure out what our Judaism means to us and how we can bring our whole selves to anything and everything that we do. Let us bring our whole selves to services tonight as Sharon Teich lights the Shabbat candles on page 3.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold, so may we, our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehaligner Shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Amen. We continue on page 24, singing Shalom Aleichem.
Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moachem LeShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Baruchuni LeShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. יאי לי
Turn back to page 20 and 21 as we join together singing Lecha Dodi. We will sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And when we reach that 9th verse, Bo'vi V'Shalom, we will rise, welcoming that Sabbath spirit towards us. Whether you are here in the Wolf Sanctuary or joining us on live stream, join with us, bringing that spirit to everyone in need.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. La lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ולתחילה. לה לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, כי באורך ומאורי, אורי שדברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני ים סגולה. בואי חלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Turn to one another, wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. Let them know you are glad they are here. On page 26, we turn to Chatzi Kaddish and remain standing through Shema.
יתקדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו יהי שמי רב המבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם וינשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן מעלמה ויאמרו.
We continue with the Baruch Hu, page 28.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Barechu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai.
We continue with Ma'ariv Aravim on page 30. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, bechokma poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna mishane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, sader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakira kirtsono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzavaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid imloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. The top of page 33, we join together. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema, page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. You may be seated as we turn to page 36 and continue together with Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
In anticipation of Micha Mocha on page 40, we read together on page 41. Join with me. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Page 40.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha, mi chamocha, ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha, nehtar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Let's try that. Who is like you, Adonai? Mi chamocha, mi chamocha, ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha, nehtar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. ונאמר כי פד אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Page 42, Hashkivenu.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. Ushmar Tzeiteinu Uvoenu Lechaim U'Shalom Be'ata Be'ad Olam Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim.
On page 44, we sing with gratitude and also joy for the gift, but also the obligation to keep and observe Shabbat. V'shamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Let's try that together. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם כי ששת ימים כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת שבת ויהי נפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We rise for the tefillah on page 46.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei HaKol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניכם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You may be seated. On the top of page 55, we read together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. On page 57. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha b'yirah na'avod. On the top of page 59, we read together. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shincha ulecha na'eh lehodot. On page 60, we continue with Shalom Rav, our prayer for peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon. Lechol hashalom, shalom rav, al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom rav, al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam, tasim leolam, tasim leolam, tasim leolam, tasim leolam. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
Amen. Having offered prayers for peace in the world, we take a few moments to offer prayers for peace in people's lives, people who are in need of healing, whether it is a body, mind, or spirit. If there's someone in your life, someone you hold in your hearts in need of healing, I invite you to think about them now and close your eyes if you wish so that you can picture them and whisper their names out loud. Strengthened by each other's presence, we link our prayers together, turning to page 253 to offer prayers of healing for those in our own lives, those in our greater community, all those in the world in need of healing.
Mi shebeirach avoteinu mekor habracha leimoteinu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebeirach imoteinu mekor habracha lavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Amen. We continue now with prayers for peace and wholeness and healing for Israel and its neighbors. If you're able, we invite you to rise and join with us in our communal prayer, which you can find in your order of service. Rock and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, the dawning of our redemption. Shield it with your compassion and spread over it the sukkah of your shalom. Compel its leaders to act for the good of all who dwell in your holy land. Grant them sound minds, courageous hearts, and compassionate souls as they navigate the treacherous terrain of conflict and terror, war and destruction. Freer of the captives and binder of their wounds, be with those who remain in captivity and console their families. Give them strength to endure and speedily send them home. May the image of their faces remain in our hearts. Master of compassion, bring security and peace to all those who are vulnerable, comfort displaced and suffering. Protect the innocent wherever they may be, in Israel, in Gaza, in Lebanon, in Yemen, in Syria. May we never lose sight of their humanity and the spark of God's presence in us all. Holy One of blessing, may the leaders of the world put their people before power and reach for compromise before conflict. Uproot the hatred, animosity, and distrust of all those who would do harm, and replace them with love and kinship, so that all the peoples who dwell in your holy land find safety and sustenance, quiet and contentment, and an abundance of everlasting peace. Amen.
Amen. And just as we have been saying every week since October 7th, 2023, we continue to pray for the speedy return of our brothers and sisters who are in captivity, and we will never stop reciting this prayer, Achenu, until all of the hostages are returned home. Let us continue together with these words. Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, hanetunim betzara uvashivya, haomdim ben bayam uven bayabasha. Hamakom yerachem aleichem veyotziei mitzara lirvacha umeyafel aleora umeshibud ligula hashta magala ubizman kariv hashta magala ubizman kariv. Together, as for our brothers and sisters, the whole house of Israel, who are given over to trouble or captivity, whether they abide on the sea or on the dry land, may the All-Present have mercy upon them and bring them forth from trouble to enlargement, from darkness to light, and from subjection to redemption, now speedily and at a near time. V'nomar, Amen.
You may be seated, and we take a few moments now for our own personal prayers.
We invite you to turn back to page 62 in your prayer books as we join together in Yihiyu Leratzon Imrefi. Yihiyu Leratzon Imrefi, Imrefi, Begyon libi lefanecha, Yihiyu Leratzon Imrefi, Imrefi, Begyon libi lefanecha, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri vegoali, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri vegoali, Yihiyu Leratzon Imrefi, Imrefi, Begyon libi lefanecha, Yihiyu Leratzon Imrefi, Imrefi, Begyon libi lefanecha.
Money is in the Jewish DNA. I don't mean this as a stereotype, but the stereotype did come from some truth, even if the truth is muddied. There are some people who understand that Jews are involved in finance and business because for generations they were forced to do work as merchants or financiers. Other people say that Jewish financial success is because of our high literacy rates and emphasis on education. There is even historical evidence that shows that Jews had to be moneylenders forced by those in the Christian countries they lived in because of Christian views regarding charging interest. While all of these truths have led Jews to be scapegoats in times of economic crisis and looked down upon because the practice was against the religion of the Christian states that they lived in, I think there's a little bit of a different reason that money is in the Jewish DNA. I can pinpoint it to the Torah portion of Beth-El, this week's parashah. In it, the Israelites as an entire community are asked to give gifts from their hearts to contribute to building the tent of meeting. There are two different groups of people noted, one whose hearts are so moved and those who excel in ability. Rabbi Chaim ben Moshe ibn Attar, a Moroccan Kabbalist and Talmudist, explains in his commentary Or HaChaim that when we talk about those whose hearts are so moved, it defines the kind of person whose gift will be of the caliber that can merge with God's intangible gift. But if their heart isn't moved, then it is not as impactful of a contribution because it doesn't elevate to that spiritual connection of God's contribution, which I understand to mean God's covenant of also dwelling among the people with the Mishkan that they are contributing to. As the Torah lessons inform our giving today, Or HaChaim reminds us not merely to contribute, but to focus on the intention behind our tzedakah. Then and only then will our gift truly have meaning. In our own context, we may see people giving money to organizations because they feel pressured to do so. This is not how Or HaChaim urges us to think about tzedakah. Instead, we should be giving in a way that is personally meaningful and significant. Significant refers not necessarily to a substantial monetary amount, but to the intention behind it. The gift should be for something that moves our hearts, that we truly care about and want to see succeed and thrive. The point is not the item given, but the intent behind it. As it was written, as long as the intent is to please heaven, that is all that matters. Are we thinking about how our tzedakah pleases God or heaven in the sage's words? Are we putting more emphasis on the intent of the contributions that we give? In the simplest terms, people refer to tzedakah as charity. However, there is much more in that word. It's not just about monetary value. The root of the word is tzedek, justice or righteousness, doing things to stand up for others and doing the right things. Monetary gifts are important, and at the same time, we must take it a step further and do the work of making our world a better place each and every day. A text from Talmud highlights the importance of tzedakah. What is stronger than death? Acts of tzedakah. As it is written, tzedakah delivers from death. Who does tzedakah deliver from death? The giver or the recipient? The text doesn't tell us. I think it's about the recipient. If we donate money or stand up for someone else's rights, it does not necessarily impact our lives profoundly. The experience might, but the act itself may not. Conversely, the person who receives the donation or sees you standing by them is deeply affected. Tzedakah is how we connect to others. It is the act that makes us think about others first and connects with them. And it is something that we need to remind ourselves to do continuously, not just occasionally, so that we can take ownership of our own actions. We need to make it a habit, a practice for all times. But is it all about money? If it was, wouldn't Torah have said that everyone gave of their shekels rather than the gifts that moved them? Wouldn't there be a price tag? Instead of focusing on the dollar amount, we should look inside ourselves and give tzedakah to those organizations and causes which inspire us to be carried away by our heart. This means not giving only to the organizations that our friends support, but also to do the research on our own. Our findings can then propel us to move from our spirit moving us to being truly carried away by what is in our heart. It is fitting then that tomorrow night is our 150th gala. I know that for some it might be an expensive night, but that doesn't mean that we don't recognize your contribution, whether you are in attendance or not tomorrow. We recognize you as a volunteer, as a giver of tzedakah at religious school, as an attendee of services or holidays, as somebody who helps in the kitchen and various other places around Temple. Instead, we strive to celebrate each and every contribution given from the heart. It is almost more meaningful to be surrounded by those who have given their hearts to the congregation than the size of the check. I say almost because we do need money to function, but the meaning behind it must be there for those zeros to really pack a punch. Those who are coming are not there for the reason of a good meal or beautiful decor or wonderful entertainment, all of which will be spectacular, of course. But instead, the 288 people who will be here tomorrow night are coming because they love Temple Beth-El and its vibrant history. This congregation is a community, a spiritual haven, an opportunity to challenge us intellectually, a social justice champion, a supportive and nurturing group of people, and most importantly, a sacred home. No matter what, we all love Temple Beth-El, and in our love, we follow what is said in Parashat Vayakel. We give from our heart. This parasha gives us the space, encouragement, and textual basis that giving from your heart is what is most important, be the gift monetary, in-kind goods or services, or volunteer effort. This process can be meaningful and is meaningful for all ages. Let Vayakel, the rest of our Torah, and the wise words of our sages guide us today and every day. Shabbat Shalom.
We continue with the concluding portion of our service. Aleinu is on page 283. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצאת בראשית, שהוא שם חלקנו לאחד את שמו, וכוח עלינו להמליך מלכותו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. As we prepare to share in the words of the Mourner's Kaddish, I invite you to turn to page 290 as I offer meditation number 5 by Rabbi Chaim Stern. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, a fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be and owe, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me. Your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love what death has touched. On this Shabbat, we note with sadness the death of Juliet Cole, mother of Carolyn Cole, sister of longtime Temple Beth-El member Beatrice B. Rosenstein, aunt of Stuart Rosenstein, Temple Beth-El member Beverly Barshop, as well as Temple member Alan Rosenstein, Sylvia and Charles Dauber, great aunt to many beloved nieces and nephews. And on this Shabbat, we consecrate the yortzites observed this week of Dennis Alter, Lucille Appel, Edna Shermack Baruch, Jerry Basile, Jefferson Bell, Perla Beret, Betty Burns, Jordan Bradfield, Harold Cohen, Charles Chuck Cook, Richard Courtney, Dr. Bernard Crane, Roland Kroom, Dr. William C. Davis, Frank Lipper Dover, Alan Drieben, Ima Edrington, Rose Friedberg, Selma Friedman, Janet Gindler Jameson, Sadie Grome, Joe Guggenheim, Jean Halstead, Shirley Halpern, Frank Hardy, Milton Bernard Hendler, Evan Manuel Hirsch, Gerald Hurst, Joseph Janko, Miriam Rabinowitz Kalmans, Charlotte Kish, Walter Koenig, Burton Collefson, Benjamin A. Kowalski, Abraham Langbaum, Jean Leff, Hortense Horty Lyman Fine, Carol Levine McBride, Jean Lang Matthews, Gerald Mazer, Ted Nye, Jesse Raufman, Leah Ricklin, Sophie Salzman, Sandy Sandalowski, Mary Arbiter Sharlock, Yetta Schreibman, Arnold Wagner, Margie Waymeyer, and Florence Zimmerman. To their memories, we link the names of 4 who in the last 30 days, Shaloshim, have been laid to their eternal rest. We remember Lois Harris, Felix Grinikoff, Donald Plotnick, and Marcia Epner. And to their names, we link the memory of 1 who was laid to rest just this week, her family observing the period of Shiva. We remember Hannah Kimmelman Landa, granddaughter of longtime Temple Beth-El members Tina and Brian Weiner, wife of Dan Landy, daughter of Elise Kimmelman and Gil Kimmelman, sister of Asher and Jaden Kimmelman, niece of Melissa Weiner, Temple Beth-El members Dan Weiner, Mary and Gordon Weiner, Susan Cook, cousin of Russell and Ori Cook, Allison Cook, Max Cook, Lily Cook, Nicholas Weiner, and Lucas Weiner. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for blessing, along with the memories of those we hold in our hearts each and every day. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we rise together, one congregation, to share in the words of the mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon uvyomechon uv'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'yizman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam omei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudesha b'rechu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, to all the world, to which we say, amen. You may be seated. It's my pleasure to welcome up Mark Eichelbaum, president of our congregation, to offer greetings on behalf of the Board of Trustees and share some announcements. Welcome back.
Definitely. Shabbat Shalom. I haven't been here in a few weeks, and I've missed you, so let's try it again. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. And welcome. I'm glad you could join us here in the Wolf Sanctuary or from your own sacred space. Thank you, Temple Beth-El Sisterhood, for being our pre-Shabbat Oneg sponsor, Sharon for lighting our Shabbat candles this evening, and Irene and Betty for welcoming us tonight as our greeters. I'd also like to welcome Dr. Kelsey Spinato in Texas Lutheran University's Judaism class, as well as Audrey Griggs and college students from His Hill Bible School. Hopefully I got those names correct. Thank you to Temple Beth-El member Arlene Dreyer for serving as docent on their tour today. And here are some upcoming events at Temple and things to know. The World Zionist Congress elections are open until Sunday, May 4th. This is an important opportunity to make your voice heard, and a powerful way for Reformed voices and Reformed values to have a real and impactful say in how Israel spends its money. You can learn more about Temple's campaign and the elections by picking up a flyer in the Oppenheimer lobby or visiting our website under upcoming events. The Jerry Gregory Spirit of Temple Award is presented once a year at our annual meeting, which this year is May 4th, save the date. It's given to someone who is a proud, vocal advocate for Temple Beth-El and its mission to provide a sacred framework that inspires people to cultivate their Jewish lives. Deadline for nomination submissions is April 1st, 2025. There's a nomination link in the weekly announcements. And as Rabbi Jurgen said, our 150th anniversary gala is tomorrow night, and we can't wait to celebrate with you. Please note that registration is now closed with 288 wonderful people. If you're going to join us, be sure to check your email for the know before you go details sent on Wednesday. For any last-minute requests, please reach out to Aaliyah. You can find more information and registration links for these and other exciting things on our websites or in the weekly announcements, which arrive in your inbox around 4 p.m. every Thursday. We look forward to your participation in these enriching and community-building opportunities. Shabbat Shalom.
Our closing song is Zeh Hayom. You can find the words on the back of your order of service. We invite you to please rise.
Ze hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismecha bo. Ze hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismecha bo. Everybody, ze hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismecha bo. Ze hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismecha bo. Nagila v'nismecha, nagila v'nismecha bo. Let's try that. Nagila v'nismecha, nagila v'nismecha bo. Hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismecha bo. Ze hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismecha bo. Nagila v'nismecha, nagila v'nismecha bo. Nagila v'nismecha, nagila v'nismecha bo. This is the day that God has made. Let us be glad. This is the hope that never fades. Let us be glad. This is the day that God has made. Let us be glad. This is the hope that never fades. Let us be glad. Let us be glad. Let us be glad. One more time. Ze hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismecha bo. Ze hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismecha bo. Nagila v'nismecha bo. Nagila v'nismecha bo.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.